Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Smackdown spoilers and your WWE main event results. Well, happy birthday goes to NXT announcer Byron Saxton, turned 33. Former WWF wrestler Tori Wilson, whichever one, turned 47. That's Tori, not Tori Wilson. She turned 47 on the 20th. Oh, well, on the 19th, happy birthday to former WWE developmental talent Chet Jablonski, turned 34. Percy Watson turned 33. And WWE ring announcer Leland Garcia turned 48. Michelle McCool revealed on Instagram that she, Mark Henry, and her husband, the Undertaker, will be champion teammates to a child named Caroline in Texas. They will be sponsoring Caroline through Cheyanna's Champions for Children charity, which provides children with rare or undiagnosed conditions and their families in Central Texas with resources to meet their medical needs not covered by insurance or other assistance. The organization currently sponsors 10 children that are paired with 10 champion athletes, excluding McCool and friends, and 10 high school teams. McCool also wrote, "Felt so blessed to become champion teammate to Sweet Caroline, who faces a rare, undiagnosed disease. Can't wait to run a marathon in her name." Watching how happy these kids were when they found out who they were partnering with, including my husband and the Mark Henry. My heart thanks my heart so much. These kids are brave and courageous despite their ailments. Each bracelet represents a different kid, as they are other kids. All the kids that they're representing now is Caroline, Drew, and Chase. And she's posting the hashtag CC4C, and also hashtag Be Strong, Live Life. Also another hashtag, when you get knocked down, get up. And then hashtag No Fear. Video of Diamond Dallas Page with wrestling legend Danny Hodge during the National Wrestling Hall of Fame weekend in Waterloo, Iowa. From several weeks back, 82-year-old Hodge crushed an apple with his bare hand while Jim Ross, Gerald Briscoe, and others looked on. Of course, it's on YouTube. Also, noted before, AAA used promotion Alberto Del Rio's theme song for his appearance at Triple Mania on their pay-per-view this past Sunday because of the copyright laws don't cover out of the United States. As former WWE star Lance Storm tweeted about La Parka coming out on the same show to Michael Jackson's Thriller song, Storm used a copyright hashtag. A fan replied and said they don't worry about trademark laws in Mexico. As Conan also replied, that tweet was correct. We even use ADR's entrance music from WWE. Well, The Rock has just finished doing some media for Hercules in Mexico and hosted a package premiere for the movie. As he has now left Mexico for Berlin to continue on with the tour for Hercules. WWE diva Natalya recently appeared on MMA veteran Josh Barnett's podcast, available probably at Podcast 1. The synopsis reads like this. WWE diva Natalya Neidhart, a.k.a. Natalya, joins, or say Natty Neidhart, a.k.a. Natalya, joins Josh Barnett on the podcast. Josh and Natalie talk fighting, pro wrestling, Natalie's popular reality show, Total Divas, and much more, including Josh's big win over Dean Lister at Metamoris 4. WWE's website has a storyline article up about who planted the center blocks that were used to take out Dean Ambrose on Raw. Michael Coleslaw noted on Main Event that Kane was the one responsible, and Seth Rollins told the website, that's on WWE.com, "They call me the architect of the Shield for a reason. I put everybody together and was responsible for all the faction success, as well as the success of Dean Ambrose. Now I am the one who has torn it apart. On the other side of things, there's Director of Operations Kane, who has been around a long time and is also very smart. You put a mind like his with a mind like mine, who knows what could happen? So when it was the right time, the cinder blocks were revealed and the plan played out perfectly. Well, there's been cards subject to change already happening. Seth Rollins versus John Cena. Matches are booked now for WWE Live events in September, which have changed to Kane versus Cena, Big Show versus Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton and Street Fights are also booked for next month's live events. Michael Coleslaw is now on the WWE main event broadcast team, as he and Byron Saxton will be handling commentary on Tuesday nights. Well, since Tom Phillips was previously working with Saxton on the main event, unknown if he has been released from his duties, Jeff Cobb, who represented Guam in the 2004 Olympics, will be getting a WWE tryout with WWE at the next camp in Orlando in September. Cobb, who is older than 30 years old and under 6 feet tall, has great athletic agility and can wrestle. He's said to be one of the best North California indie wrestlers out there. Part of the reason why Hornswoggle is back on WWE TV with El Torito is because WWE wants him on TV in a babyface role for the release of Leprechaun Origins. Variety reports that actor Ken Jeong will be starring in a new WWE Studios comedy with Hulk Hogan and David Hasselhoff. The movie is scheduled for a 2015 release, but there's no exact date for the release. It just says 2015. The movie is currently being developed under the working title Untitled Celebrity Death Pool. It will feature Jeong playing a struggling nightclub owner who racks up a large debt from a loan shark and then sets out to win a long-running celebrity death pool by trying to kill Hasselhoff. Well, Hasselhoff was probably the one doing the nightclub owner. Hogan doesn't even say. It says the article says Hogan will be making a cameo appearance, and other celebrities are expected as well, but none have been noted. And the writer of the Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Darren Grant, will direct the movie. The script is being written by Peter Hoare. Michael Coleslaw is now on the WWE main event. I've already said that. I think I posted it twice, by mistake. Rey Mysterio was essentially forced to stay under contract with WWE for one more year due to a clause in WWE contracts allowing the company to extend a contract if their performers miss a certain amount of time due to injuries. When Rey's WWE contract expires this year, he reportedly told Triple H that he was not interested in renewing his deal. The two reportedly had a handshake agreement that WWE and Rey would go their separate ways. Thus, the AAA video. Vince McMahon then had Mark Carrano from Talent Relations call Rey to inform him that they were renewing his deal for one more year based on that clause. Rey is still out of action with a hand injury and has not appeared for them since January. With him living in California, there was some talk last week of bringing him to SummerSlam for media appearances, but that obviously did not happen. Possibly because WWE didn't want the questions about his status coming up. Alberto Del Rio will reportedly be doing media appearances in the United States soon to go into more details about what happened with his WWE departure. Del Rio's representatives have contacted indie promoters in the United States and said that Del Rio will now be taking bookings for autograph signings and matches in the U.S. very soon because he doesn't feel that WWE's one-year non-compete that keeps him from doing MMA and pro wrestling while not paying him will hold up in court. Del Rio's asking price for indie booking is said to be extremely high. Del Rio has been upset about WWE social media worker Cody Barbieri not being fired for the incident and that they were involved in, but for legal reasons hasn't not been saying anything like that publicly, At first, Del Rio was going to speak out in the United States, in the U.S. media, but decided against it. Now, his lawyers have reportedly given him the green light to speak out in the United States. It was also reported by those close to the situation that when Triple H called Del Rio out about the departure, he told Del Rio to keep his nose clean, and when the heat died down, they would rehire him in 6 months. I said that in the Raw video. I'm saying it again now. Del Rio said that he wasn't interested in coming back. All right, confirmation. Big Show, Randy Orton, and John Cena were also told Del Rio that they would push for him to be rehired because most of the locker room was sympathetic to what happened. Again, Del Rio made it clear that he didn't want to come back. The law offices of Vincent Wong has filed a class action lawsuit against WWE, alleging the company misled investors over its true ability to command a premium fee in upcoming negotiations to renew its TV license agreement. This is the second, I believe, lawsuit filed against WWE for the TV rights deal. Admittedly, my knowledge of class action suits are small, but I believe they will probably all be combined together at some point. WWE will also probably settle this out of court, though I would presume we are a long way from that moment. Triple H announced on the main event that John Cena has activated his rematch clause for a title shot at the World Heavyweight title. Cena vs. Brock Lesnar for the World Heavyweight title at the September 21st Night of Champions pay-per-view in Nashville is now confirmed. The dark match before tonight's main event saw in Phoenix, Arizona, saw Adam Rose defeat Fandango with Party Foul. And dark match in between tonight's main event and SmackDown taping saw Cesaro defeat Kofi Kingston with a neutralizer. And then tonight's premiere episode of Monday Night War will air on the WWE Network this Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time after the SmackDown goes off the air. And the dark match before tonight's it's all I already did that. I guess I got 2 reports sent in for that. Same results. Alright, main event opens up with Michael Cole welcoming us to the main event from Phoenix. Match number 1, Sheamus versus Curtis Axel. We go to the ring. Out comes U.S. Champion Sheamus. As Coleslaw is joined in by Byron Saxton, and this is the new main event announce team. Curtis Saxton was out next, Cesaro's music hits, and out comes for commentary. Back and forth match to start as Axel getting some offense in. Sheamus turns around and goes for the forearms, but on the apron, but Axel drops him over the top rope. Sheamus drops Axel again, and Axel gets a cheap shot in and knocks Sheamus out to the floor with a big knee. Axel follows, and brings in Sheamus back in for 1 count. Axel keeps control and takes Sheamus to the top. Turns Sheamus upside down in the corner for 3 away and walks over him on him as we go to commercial after a 2 count. Come back and Sheamus makes a comeback, but Axel cuts him off. Axel blocks the battering ram and hits the perfect plex for a 2 count. Axel backs Sheamus in the corner and slaps him several times. Sheamus fires back and unloads on Axel. Sheamus continues and hits the senton. Sheamus nails a brogue kick for the non-title win. After the match, Cesaro grabs the U.S. title and looks at it while he walks around the ring. Sheamus looks at him and asks what he's doing. Cesaro tosses the title behind him and into the ring. Sheamus catches it and Cesaro walks up the ramp. Then we get a video of Triple H announcing John Cena vs. Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions, which was we were all already expecting. We'll probably get the same thing on SmackDown. Nikki Bella versus Emma was up next. Nikki is the first. Comes in first as we go to a break. They lock up and go at it. Emma with a few roll-ups early on. Nikki comes out of the corner and nails Emma in the face for a 2 count. Chant set. And as the fans chant, "You sold out" at Nikki. We'll get some back and forth action. So Emma gets her submission on the ropes and has to break it. Emma goes to the top and misses the crossbody as Nikki moves out of the way. Nikki, with a huge right hand, knocks Emma down. Nikki hits a rack attack for the win. Renee Young is backstage with Big Show and Mark Henry. Show says his match with Eric Rowan isn't going to be pretty. Show jokes he might break out some luchador moves. Henry says he's a mess. Henry tells Show just to go whoop Rowan so they can go eat. Show says that's what he's going to do. Henry will be there to make sure Luke Harper doesn't interfere. We go to commercials. Then we get the Slater Gator tag team versus the Los Matadors. We come back. Slater Gator is in the ring. Los Matadors out next with El Torito. Hornswoggle's out with him as well. And he's dressed as a cow to Torito's bull. Fernando and Slater go at it to start the match. Slater turns it around, but Fernando takes him down out of the corner. Diego tags in for a bit of double teaming for a 2 count. They run to the ropes, and Diego hits her Coronado. Diego runs into a big boot. Slater comes out of the corner with a clothesline and tags in Titus. Titus stomps and drops Diego over his knee twice before throwing him away. Slater with a headlock. After coming back in, Diego fights out and plants Slater on his face. Fernando springboards in off of a tag and goes to work on Slater. They do some comedy, and Fernando botches a move for a 2 count that Titus broke up. Diego comes in and tosses Titus to the floor. Slater tosses Diego to the floor. Fernando with two small packages for a 2 count. Slater hits his DDT for the win. After the match, Torito comes in to roll his partner out of the ring. Slater grabs him, but Hornswoggle comes in. He kicks Slater twice. Slater laughs and points at Cowswoggle. Slater drops to his knees to fight Hornswoggle, but they double team him, sending him crashing into Titus on the apron, knocking Slater Gator to the floor. Titus and Slater storm the ring, but Torito and Hornswoggle escape, and Slater's music hits as the 2 teams taunt each other. Luke Harper appears on the big screen for a promo. Bray Wyatt taught him that in order for you to be saved, you must pay for your sins. Tonight, the Giant comes crashing down. Eric Rowan tells Big Show to run. We get more commercials and a look back at Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose from Raw. Renee Young's backstage with Seth Rollins. He says what happened to Dean Ambrose on Raw is the universe's fault. Rollins talks about how John Cena, Chris Jericho, and Jack Swagger lost at SummerSlam. He rips Swagger and Swagger walks up. They have words and Swagger gets in his face. Rollins says they will fight on SmackDown. Alright, we get Big Show versus Eric Rowan. We go to the ring. Out first comes Big Show and then Mark, as well as Mark Henry. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper were out next. We go to commercial. They go at it to start the match. They end up on the floor and come back in the ring. Rowan drops Show with a big shot right in front of Harper. Show tries to get a boot up, but Rowan blocks it and continues to working on Big Show's hurt leg. Fans boo as Rowan covers for a 2 count. Rowan continues to dominate and drops Show for another 2 count. Show manages to get a leg sweep in. Rowan comes right back with a big boot to the head for a 2 count. Big Show with a big slam for another close 2 count. And then Big Show connects out of nowhere with the WMD and gets a win with the knockout punch. After the match, Show and Henry stand tall in the ring as Harper and Rowan look from ringside. Main event goes off there with Big Show in pain. 2 reports for SmackDown. Thanks to Vito Lagozzo and Gibby Gabriel for the combo of SmackDown spoilers for tonight's taping from Phoenix. Randy Orton kicked off SmackDown with a promo talking about Roman Reigns. Orton says Reigns won a battle, but not the war. He says tonight's main event against Rob Van Dam is an example of what he will do to other superstars. Next up, we get Seth Rollins versus Jack Swagger was up next as Rollins hits the curb stomp outside of the ring and wins by countout. After the match, Bo Dallas comes out and tells Swagger to keep believing and don't be a Jack Zero. Backstage segment was up next with The Miz asking Kane for another shot against Dolph Ziggler. Kane says it won't happen, but puts Miz in a match with Roman Reigns tonight. Next match, you got a squash match as Rusev squashed Sin Cara. Backstage segment with Rob Van Dam as Randy Orton attacked him from behind and they brawl to the ring. They continue fighting and both get counted out. Orton continues to viciously attack RVD after the match and hits a drapey DDT from the barrier. Natalya versus Paige in the non-title match was out next. AJ comes out and takes the Divas title. Paige grabs the title back, but Natalya takes advantage and gets the win with a sharpshooter. Next match, we got Stardust and Goldust defeating Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. After the match, Rowan and Harper beat them up. And your main event is of SmackDown, Roman Reigns defeating The Miz with a spear. After the match, Randy Orton came out and had a stare down with Reigns, and then they brawled to end SmackDown. Report number 2, Eric, Jason Carter, and Daniel Maguire were at the SmackDown tapings, posting the following results. Dark match, Adam Rose defeated Fandango. The match was held prior to the main event. Rose won with a 5-minute match with a party foul and a pin. And then the second match was Cesaro defeating Kofi Kingston in 7 minutes 45 seconds. Cesaro won with a neutralizer in a match held after the main event. And then your SmackDown TV tapings, you got Randy Orton starting the show by rambling about respect. Then Seth Rollins came out for his match. Seth Rollins defeated Jack Swagger by count out. Rollins hit the curb stomp on the ring apron, which led to the count out. A good match to open the show with good back and forth action. And then Bo Dallas insulted Jack Swagger as Swagger was being tended to by medical staff. Match number 2, Rusev destroyed Sin Cara in 1 minute 49 seconds. Then there was a giant pop when Sin Cara came out. Rusev won using the accolade. Mark Henry came out. Lana led Rusev to the back. Nothing more than that for that report. Rob Van Dam cut a promo and spoke about his match until he was attacked from Randy Orton. Randy Orton fought Rob Van Dam to an apparent no contest. There was roughly 2 minutes of action. Orton kept beating on RVD outside the ring for the finish. They threw him back inside the ring, grabbed a chair, and sat down next to the fallen RVD. Orton stood up and RKO Van Dam onto the chair and walked to the back. The beating lasted about 5 minutes. Footage of Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton program was shown, so it looks like it's going to continue. Match number 4, Natalya defeated Paige in a non-title match in 2 minutes 46 seconds. AJ Lee came out and took the belt to the top of the ramp. Paige got it back and then ran back to the ring. Natalya caught Paige as a sharpshooter for the win. Match number 5, Goldust and Stardust defeated Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in 8 minutes 20 seconds. As Goldust rolled up, he distracted Harper for the win. Harper's shirt was torn during the match, meaning you might actually have to get a new one. Roman Reigns defeated The Miz. As Reigns won in a little over a minute, Randy Orton came out and caused a distraction, but Reigns hit the spear for the win. After the match, Orton entered the ring, and the two brawled for about 4 minutes, with Orton bringing in a chair. Reigns fought back and hit the Superman punch to end the taping. After the taping, John Cena's music hit, and he received the biggest pop of the night. He spoke for about a second, and then the Wyatt family music started. The family came out with Bray, and they headed to the ring. And looks like they started the brawl as Roman Reigns came to the rescue. Eric wrote that it was a nice ending to an entertaining card. Goldust was probably the most entertaining of the night, but Cena got by far the biggest pop. WWE has announced that Becky Lynch will take on NXT Women's Champion Charlotte on Thursday's NXT episode. The dark segment after SmackDown tapings in Phoenix saw John Cena come out and address the crowd. Well, this was a second report. Cena received the biggest pop of the night, and he spoke until he was interrupted by the Wyatt family as Bray, Eric, and Luke surrounded Cena until Roman Reigns made the save. Bray left while Cena and Reigns hit their finishes on Rowan and Harper to end the show. As the segment with Mark Henry and Rusev at Monday's Raw from Las Vegas was written into the script late in the afternoon. And during the rewrites, it was a late decision and not something planned ahead of time, but it looked as if the two will be feuding. And there were a lot of rewrites to Monday's show, more than usual. And thanks to the results from that particular result from PW Insider for the rewrites notes. And that concludes my Smackdown WWE main event, birthdays, and other news. Thanks again. Peace out. God bless. See you one, be you. If you didn't know, you better call me, bro.